Every year, the Policy Center for the New South organizes the Atlantic Dialogue's Emerging Leaders Program, now known as ADEL, where we bring together 30 to 50 change makers, young professionals from across the Atlantic for a 2 to 3 day intensive policy and leadership program. These young leaders are selected out of a pool of thousands of applicants every year, and they join the Atlantic Dialogues Conference after their program, playing, of course, an active and important role. How is the Emerging Leaders Program and this notion of intergenerational dialogue in line with the philosophy and values of the Policy Center for the New South and the way that it operates at its core?
Well, I think first of all, it has to do with the selection. I guess that when you select those leaders, what we search is a sort of compatibility, or in terms of spirit and soul, and with what are the Atlantic dialogues. And I think we have been quite successful now. The community, will reach by the end of the year close to 400 members from more than 60 nationalities. It's a fantastic group. We've seen some of them grow from young civil servant all the way to very important political positions, or in private businesses or civil society. So I think we're very proud at the Policy Center of this community. And I think what we found also is that that the energy that the younger generation provide is essential. It's a fundamental drive for change in societies. And this is one of course, the main source of innovation in societies, and to transform our societies for the better. So I think that has happened. We've been supporting some of our emerging leaders in their projects. We have quite intense interactions all year long, which is quite special for a young leader program. And when they come at the conference, they're part of the community, in fact, and they are giving back also for some of them years after being an emerging leader, and giving back to the conference, being invited as well as speakers or participants. And so I think that part of the Atlantic Dialogue, which combines nicely with the conference itself, and make it, I think, quite special, and making the community. It's one thing to say we are a community. It's another to feel that there is a community, and to the belonging to this community, which I think we find in many of our emerging leaders. Many of our professionals have also, after a couple of years spent at the Policy Center, they, evolved in Morocco, but globally. And I think that's, as I said initially, that's the nice mirroring of the conference itself and what is the Policy Center. So we see here connections, and how the two institutions, in fact, in a way, have grown together to produce a very special culture, a common culture within the community, but also a very special culture at the intersection of civil society, academia, and policy making, which is highly sought after around the world. So all this is a sort of ecosystem that we have tried to build. It's not just another conference where people get together and sort of congregate nicely, but this is quite different. This is a very sophisticated ecosystem. It's still, growing, changing, but we can feel the ingredient of this very special sort of ecosystem that we've tried to construct over the years.
Thank you, Mr. Karim El Aynaoui, for providing us with more details about the identity and the heart of the Atlantic Dialogues, and also explaining how linked it is with the identity and heart of the Policy Center for the New South. The Atlantic Dialogues is a conference and a community that has a strong vision foundation, and purpose, as you were saying. Thank you all for tuning in, and see you in Marrakesh for the 2022 edition of the Atlantic Dialogues Conference. For those who will not be able to join us, please tune in on the Policy Center for the New South's website and on the Atlantic Dialogues website at atlanticdialogues.org. Thank you.